Hey everyone, welcome back to Adventure Chuckles, where we dive into the most fascinating topics from all over the world. Today, we're taking a close look at one of the most pressing issues of 2025, the housing crisis. As cities grow and the cost of living continues to rise, state governments are stepping up to find real solutions. But how are they tackling this complex issue? And what does the future of affordable housing really look like? Let's dive in. In 2025, the housing crisis continues to be one of the most pressing challenges faced by states across the United States. With affordable housing becoming increasingly scarce, state governments are taking bold actions to address the growing disparity between the demand for homes and the supply available. Today, we will explore how different states are responding to the housing affordability crisis and what these solutions could mean for the future of American cities. Across the country, rising rents, skyrocketing home prices, and an undersupply of affordable housing have created a perfect storm. While some cities like San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York have long been known for their high housing costs, the problem has now spread to cities that were once considered more affordable, such as Austin, Phoenix, and even Denver. As we approach 2025, state governments are increasingly being called upon to create sustainable housing policies that will ensure everyone can find a safe, affordable place to live. State-level legislative action, one of the most significant ways states are addressing the housing crisis, is through legislative action. Several states have passed laws to increase housing supply by streamlining zoning regulations. For instance, California has made headlines for its bold housing legislation aimed at creating new housing units and easing restrictions on multifamily housing developments in urban areas. The state's new streamlined zoning policies allow developers to bypass certain local restrictions, making it easier to build high-density housing near public transportation hubs. California state officials are also increasing funding for affordable housing projects, with the goal of building over 100,000 new affordable units by 2025. In addition, California has implemented housing tax credits to incentivize developers to include low-income housing in their projects, which is crucial to combating housing inequality. Public-private partnerships, another promising strategy in combating the housing crisis, is through public-private partnerships. States like Texas and Florida have led the way by partnering with private developers to construct mixed-income housing developments. These collaborations bring together government funding and private sector expertise, enabling the construction of affordable housing while still allowing for the development of more upscale properties to fund the projects. For instance, the Texas Housing Initiative has helped the state leverage private investment to increase its affordable housing stock by offering tax incentives to developers who include affordable units in their projects. By combining private capital with public incentives, these partnerships are helping to ease the housing burden, rent control, and tenant protections, in addition to increasing supply. Some states are taking a closer look at tenant protections and rent control measures. In New York, state lawmakers have implemented rent stabilization policies in certain high-demand areas, capping rent increases at no more than 3% annually. These laws are designed to ensure that renters are not pushed out of their homes due to rising rents, which is a growing concern in urban areas like Brooklyn and Manhattan. Oregon has also taken significant steps by becoming the first state to implement statewide rent control laws in 2020, a policy that has since been expanded. This allows the state to regulate how much landlords can increase rent annually, offering stability for renters in a market where prices often fluctuate wildly. Targeted housing programs to tackle the housing crisis at a more localized level. Some states have created targeted housing programs aimed at specific demographics, such as low-income families, veterans, and senior citizens. For example, Washington State has invested heavily in housing for homeless veterans through its Veterans Housing Assistance Program, which provides subsidies and grants to help veterans secure stable housing. Other states, like Colorado, have created affordable homeownership programs that allow low-income individuals and families to buy homes with the help of state-backed loans and down payment assistance. These programs are essential in areas like Denver, where homeownership has become increasingly out of reach for many residents. Density and smart growth, an emerging solution to the housing crisis, is the concept of smart growth and high-density development. States like Oregon and Washington have embraced mixed-use zoning, allowing residential, commercial, and retail spaces to be built in close proximity. This strategy not only addresses housing shortages, but also creates vibrant, walkable communities where residents can live, work, and play. This type of urban planning is especially effective in larger metropolitan areas where space is limited. By prioritizing smart density, states can ensure that housing developments are both affordable and well integrated into the local economy, reducing the need for long commutes and improving quality of life. Sustainability and green building, in addition to addressing the sheer number of homes needed, many states are also focusing on sustainable housing solutions. Green building practices are becoming a priority in states like California and Colorado, where governments are incentivizing developers to incorporate eco-friendly materials, energy-efficient designs, and solar-powered homes into their projects. For example, the California Green Building Standards Code requires new residential buildings to meet specific energy efficiency standards, making the state a leader in the development of sustainable housing. Community engagement and local input. It's crucial to note that community engagement plays a pivotal role in tackling the housing crisis. States are increasingly involving local communities in the decision-making process, ensuring that the voices of residents are heard when it comes to new housing developments. In California, public hearings and community forums are held to gather input from residents before new housing projects are approved, making sure that these developments align with the needs and preferences of local communities. Looking ahead, the future of housing in the U.S. As we look toward the future, it's clear that the housing crisis won't be solved overnight. However, through innovative policies, partnerships, and sustainable development practices, state governments are making significant strides toward ensuring that affordable housing is within reach for millions of Americans by 2025 and beyond. By tackling zoning restrictions, implementing rent control measures, and prioritizing green development, states are reshaping their housing markets to be more inclusive and sustainable. But the key to long-term success will be continued collaboration, community input, and an unwavering commitment to ensuring that housing remains a right, not a luxury. As we've seen today, states across the country are taking bold steps to address the housing crisis. And while there's still a long way to go, these efforts give us hope for a more sustainable and affordable future. What do you think? How is your state tackling the housing crisis? Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a deep dive into the issues that shape our world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Adventure Chuckles.